All right, let's move on to the book I liked. The third best book this week. And this is weird. Carnage, Forever, #1. I'm normally not a Carnage and Venom fan. I don't collect the books. I really don't know much about what's been going on with them lately. This is the Geek Easy. We gotta have drinks. I mean, I was there when I was reading it when Spider-Man got his black costume and the beginning of the Venom thing, but haven't been paying attention to it lately. But anyway, something told me to pick this one up. So it's published by Marvel. Written by Philip Kennedy Johnson. Edgar Salazar is the artist. Rochelle Rosenberg is the color artist. And VC's Joe Sabino is the letterer for Homecoming. I guess there's 3 little things to this. Unmade in His Image is by Ram V. And Funnies is Ty Templeton. Ty Templeton did the whole thing at the end. All of it. But, anyway, so we have this. It starts out with a little girl sitting out in front of a burned down structure, and it turns out that it was Saint Agnes or whatever, the place where Cletus Cassidy grew up. And it was burned down. I guess he burned it down. And she's sitting out there. Gentleman approaches her, and he's worried about the little girl sitting out on the street. And it turns out that she's out there. She likes drawing, but I guess the people she's staying with don't like her being around the house all that much, so she comes out and draws. And some drunk people come by a little later on, give her a hard time. And she goes into the place and runs into Carnage. And he takes and then it shows things going on during the week. The people that bugged her disappear. Her parents disappear. The guy keeps coming back looking for the girl. And turns out that she is now has Carnage in her. This is actually kind of an interesting little story. I don't know if they intend to keep her as Carnage. I don't know. But then it also shows a little later how Carnage helps. He's escaping and he runs into Hydro Man. Little interaction between them. But pretty interesting set of stories. And if they keep this little girl as Carnage, I think that would be really interesting. Just to see what they intend to do with that. Because that would be, that would be awesome. Because, she's obviously been mistreated in her life because her foster parents were assholes and kind of didn't treat her well. So she's got that going. And then she's got the Carnage symbiote in there. This would be really interesting to see where they go with this. If they decide to keep her as Carnage. I'd be down for that. I'd read that series if that was the case. So I'm going to check #2 and see where what they're going to do with it. Especially if the guy who wrote that part of this issue keeps going with it. So I'm going to say I'm going to give this a 3.75 out of 5. And say get it, because this was a fun book to read. And I was pleasantly surprised, especially considering that I'm not a big fan of Venom or Carnage. But anyway, did you read it? Let me know in the comments below what you thought of it. And if you agree with my assessment, like, subscribe, and most of all, enjoy your comics.